Hey guys. Hey, welcome. Okay, you guys all hear it's being recorded, right? Let me get these guys on. You guys, this is a good night for a meeting. We're getting everybody in here. Beautiful. Super impressed. All right. So, who are some coaches here? Raise your hand if you're coaches. Awesome. And you're Beth. Is that the name's right?
Mhm.
I'm gonna keep this on the side because my people are still coming in. Just so if I see them, I can let them in. Hopefully that is. I wonder if I need to get Stacy on here. All right, you guys, my name is Coach Amy. I am with Athletes Mindset Academy. It sounds like you may have had a meeting with one of the other coaches already. Is that right, Beth?
Yeah, we had a meeting with Stacy.
Stacy? Okay. Who's my other coach? Claudia. Hey, Claudia.
Yep. Hi.
Welcome. I'm glad you're here. I probably should just see if Stacy wants to pop on because people keep jumping in. And so I'm getting distracted with everybody coming in instead of focusing on you guys. This is a quick meeting. What we want to do is make sure that you guys know the first tool of the Mindset 101. Raise your hand if you haven't done a thought download yet. I just where we're at. Has anybody not done a thought download? Everybody's done it?
We've had a lot of struggling with getting started. So I've been sending the kids information, and we did one thing in the gym, but we missed the other. So I think we're on board now, hopefully, with the technology part of it.
Well, and that's been our end, and we apologize for that. I'm so excited though, you guys. Here's the thing with these calls that we have, even if you miss the tool because the videos, and we're trying to make sure all the technical things, because we have a lot more people coming in. So our systems are trying to catch up with the numbers. If you have Claudia, I think that you are working with Stacy on some of the things that some of you guys have been missing. I'm going to go over right now what the tool is. So any of you who missed it, don't worry. Oh, sorry, there's 3 pages here. So if I missed your hand, oh my gosh, Claudia, I am impressed. Way to get your gym there.
This is the best. Good job, girls.
Yeah, I'm proud of you guys. Good job, Jim. To me, this is my passion, you guys. I was a gymnast. I was on the national team. I performed at Stanford University, was a college I went to for gymnastics, and I was an elite for a long time. It's just something I love. Stacy and Coach Allie, we'll meet her. We all have gymnastics background. This is the emotional help. This is the piece that I wish we had when I was an elite gymnast. But we always had sports psychologists. It's very different than the tools that we're teaching you guys. Sports psychology, we still teach those, and I loved all this. I had them since I was 15 on the national team. I love those tools, but we usually teach them as icing on the cake now instead of the foundational tools. The way you feel, you guys, the way you feel is going to determine what you're going to do. Does anybody love to do huge series when they're feeling nervous? Oh, is it Amina? Is that your name? No?
With what?
Do you love to do big series like Flick Lelays or Flicks or whatever your series is on Beam when you're feeling really nervous?
No.
Okay.
I didn't hear that right. So
I'm like, sweet. I think you're the first I've ever seen that loves to do series when they're nervous. How's your tumbling when you feel super excited? Do you guys love to tumble when you have a lot of excitement inside of you? Yeah. The way you feel, we're going to talk more about feelings on the next one, but I just want you to see today, it's going to lead into the next, every single one of these tools is going to lead to the next one. And the biggest piece about what we teach is focused around your emotions, because that's going to determine everything. And it's going to make the coaches' lives easier and your life easier if you know how to manage what you're feeling. All right, guys? And I keep getting these people in here, and I'm just going to text Stacy really fast and have her pop in, or Allie, so that I don't have to keep worrying about people coming in. I'm having to let them all in one at a time. Let me just tell them real quick, jump in. We're gonna have to change the Zoom settings so we don't have to let each person in as they come in one at a time. That takes too much time. Okay, so everybody knows what a thought download is what I'm assuming, but I'm just gonna go through it for those of you. Okay, a couple of people don't. Perfect, it's okay. When you have a feeling, or this is where I especially like thought downloads, when you have a feeling that you're not liking, usually it's kind of a tense feeling. Have you ever seen like a girl on Beam that looks really tense, or a nervous feeling, any type of emotion that you're like, I I'm not excited. I'm not looking forward to this. When the coach says, go do 100 of these, you're not running over to the bar, right? Anytime you have one of those moments, I want you to take some time, ideally every day, to do something called a thought download. And we're all going to do it right now. Does everybody have paper in front of them? We're all going to do this so that we can practice it together in a really quick, short amount of time, because I want you to see how fast this is. It's so important, and it takes just a few minutes to do this, okay? So everybody who's on the call, if you don't have a paper, maybe open up your phone, okay? All right, write down on a piece of paper a skill. Now, unless you're Simone Biles, you probably have some skill that causes you a little bit of tension, a little bit of nervousness, a little bit of frustration. Maybe you're like, I know I can do this. I don't know why I'm not going for it. Write down one of those skills on your paper right now, okay? Every gymnast, if you're trying to get to the next level, you should have at least one skill that's kind of challenging you. I like that word, challenge. We all like challenges, as long as they work for us, right? As long as we like the challenge. So everybody have one down? I'm going to give you just a couple seconds. It shouldn't be too hard. You should be able to think of one that's like, I'm just trying to nail this skill. I know how to do it. How come I can't nail it? Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and, everybody got that? I'm going to put a timer on, and for 30 seconds, just 30 seconds. This doesn't take long. I want you to write, and I'm going to mute everybody just for a second on this one. So don't worry if you're muted, it's because I'm muting you all. I'm going to mute all for a minute. I want you to write down, I'll unmute you guys all in a second. I want you to write down for 30 seconds, what is causing you to feel frustrated or worried or scared or anticipation about this skill? What's causing you some concern, some doubt? What is it? And I just want you to write about it for 30 seconds. Anything you want about this skill. If you get to a point where you're like, I got nothing else, write, I got nothing else. I can't think of anything else, right? I can't think of anything else. The point of this practice is to teach your brain how to get things on paper outside of your brain so we can see what's going on. If you hold it inside, it's just going to keep spiraling. If we can get it out and see it, then maybe we can do something with it that actually moves forward a little bit. Okay, we still have people coming in. All right. So everybody got that? Timer, 30 seconds. Let's do this. Everybody should have one skill written down, just one. Let's do it. I'm getting the timer on now. My timer's gonna go off. Everybody should have one. I could even write one down because this is for anything in life. You coaches that have no skills, not that you don't have any skills, no gymnastics skills that you're working on, write something down, practice this. This is something that helps with everything. Maybe this skill is learning how to communicate with that one athlete that's like, this is so hard. Well, what do I do? Maybe that's the thing that you're working on. Okay, timer's off. That didn't take very long, right, guys? Did that take you long to write down? And maybe you wanted more time? Okay, Coach Sahara says she's in here. Sahara, I'm gonna make you a co-coach or co-host so you can manage the people coming in. All right, let me see if I can find her really quick. Everybody needs to look at their paper, and I want you to circle anything that we would, let me see. Amanda Bolliard, is that your name? Is that how I say it? Can you tell us what a circumstance is? Did you happen to listen to the video, or did you get a chance to work on this thought download? Yeah? Is there somebody next to Amanda? Good job. You unmuted yourself. Good job.
My name's Scarlett.
Scarlett, I love that name. Scarlett, did you get a chance to, did you find out what a circumstance is?
Back handsprings.
That is your circumstance. Perfect. Can everybody on this call agree that Scarlett's doing a back handspring? Is that a fact that she's working on a back handspring? So nobody's going to disagree with Scarlett? I couldn't anyways because she's super cute. But I want you to see what Scarlett just said. Perfect. Thank you, Scarlett. Let's see. Madison Jackson, are you on here? Are you listening in? I'm going to ask you to unmute for a sec. Madison, Scarlett just told us one of her circumstances. Can you define what a circumstance is for us? If you're, yeah, tell us what a circumstance is.
Go ahead. I don't know this.
No, that's okay. There's a lot of people who. Beth, do you know what a circumstance is? Did you get a chance to go through the paper? Coach Beth?
Sorry, you said circumstance?
Mm-hmm.
I went a little bit. It's where it's something you can't, circumstance is something that you like put yourself in, not like a fact.
Yes, perfect. It is a fact. So is Scarlett's back handspring positive or negative?
Positive.
So thank you. I made it like a trick question. Hey, Coach Stacy, do you have the ability to admit people? I'm just curious. Did I give you the right power?
Yeah, I'm admitting them as we go.
Thank you, Stacy. Okay, so here's what I want you guys to know about circumstances, and Stacy might pipe in and give us a few more things to add to it because she's on here too. Thanks for jumping on, Stacy. So what we want you to understand, the point of today's work is to separate what a circumstance is from what we think about the circumstance, okay? So a circumstance, Scarlett's back handspring, this is what I want you to hear. Everybody look at their skill that they wrote down, and I want you to look at it and go, what I'm telling you is that a circumstance is not positive or negative. Scarlett's back handspring isn't good or bad. Scarlett's back handspring isn't happy or sad. It's not positive or negative. It is a fact. And we all agreed that she's working on a back handspring. So if everybody agrees, even those that don't like you, that you have two eyes, then that would probably be a circumstance, right? That Stacy has a nose, then yep, we'd all agree Stacy has a nose. Even if somebody was frustrated with Stacy, we'd be like, well, we can't deny that, darn it. That's a fact. So it's not good or bad. It's not happy, sad. There's no emotion attached to circumstances. You guys hear what I'm saying? Now, I'm going to tell you a quick story before we go to the rest of this. While I tell you the story, I want you to circle any facts, any circumstances in that thought download that we just did. So everybody should have a circumstance written down, which is a skill. Or for a coach, it could be any situation you want that everybody in the world would agree with. If you were in a court of law, the judge would be like, she's right, okay? And then everything else, I want you to underline everything that's not circled. Now listen to my story while you look at yours and think about what you're doing, all right? So I have a brother that lives in St. Croix, and we went over to visit him, my husband and I. And we were going to this pier where the cruise ships dock, and my brother said, go over there, jump in the ocean off of the dock, and you're gonna see amazing things. So my husband, Ty, and I went over to the pier, and we looked in the water, and both of us were kind of chicken, so we didn't jump. And I went back to my brother's house, and he's like, you guys, don't be chickens. Come on, you could do this. He said, the hammerheads and the tiger sharks live on the other side of the island. I'm like, what? I didn't even think about those. So he told us they were on the other side. I'm like, okay. So we went back the next day. Neither one of us jumped again. We went back, and my brother's like, oh my gosh, great day, let's go. So he came with us on the third day, and he brought his friend with him. Now here's what happened. Mike is the friend. Mike jumped off the dock into the ocean, just splash, right? Beautiful day, sun's out, clear water. And it was a nice soft breeze. And then my brother, Paul, jumped into the ocean, and we're moving down the dock. And then Tyler, my husband, jumped into the ocean. Now I'm the last one to jump in the ocean. I'm farthest away. As I'm jumping in the ocean, I'm jumping in, and I look, and on the side of me, I see Mike pop up and yell my way and say, shark, really loud. So, is your name Annalise Mooney?
Yeah.
Annalise, what do you think I was feeling?
Scared, probably.
Why?
Because there was a shark and you were gonna jump into the water really close to it.
Right? In fact, I was right on top of it.
Okay.
Yeah, crazy. I totally agree with you, Annalise. I was terrified. I was jumping, and have you ever seen a show where like the little cartoon is trying to like stay in the air and like climb up the air? Yeah, it wasn't working. So I splashed into the water, and I was frantic. Now here's the rule in the water: when there's a shark, you shouldn't splash. I was splashing all over the place because I was so terrified. Exactly like Annalise said. And I was drowning my husband, who was close to me. I grabbed his head and I pushed him down, and I was climbing on his shoulders, trying to get out of the water. I was acting like shark bait because I was afraid I was going to get eaten by the shark. The one thing you're not supposed to do, I was doing really well. Okay. All right, so I got into the water. My husband grabs me off his head and he's pulling me down. Here's the cool thing. My husband's not a very good swimmer, so I knew I had a better chance than he did. And I was pushing him down so I could get out, right? He's pulling me down, holding on to me as tight as he could, not because he's like, I love you, honey. It's because he's like, stop acting like shark bait. We're gonna get eaten. And so he's holding me tight and he kept pointing in the water. And I finally looked down, and sure enough, underneath, like 10 feet, we were pretty shallow, 10 feet below me, it was like this 20-foot long shark. Have you ever seen a 20-foot long shark?
No.
No, because it wasn't a 20-foot long shark, but it was a 10-foot long shark, which to me is still huge, right?
Yeah.
In my head, it was bigger than that, but apparently my brother's like, it was only 10 feet. That's a huge shark, 10 feet below me, and I see my brother and Mike on the bottom of the ocean with the shark. So I start freaking out again, because I think the shark is about to eat them. And my husband holds tighter and he keeps pointing down. And I finally take a breath, because at this point, I hadn't taken a breath since I left the dock.
Yeah.
And I took a breath. Do you know what happened when I took a breath? I noticed that at this point, there was no blood. I hadn't been eaten. My husband hadn't been eaten. And I looked down again. And my brother is trying to ride. He and his friend are holding onto the fin of the shark, trying to get a ride with the shark. Now, here's the question. Annalise, since you're unmuted, I'm going to go ahead and put you on the spot again.
Okay.
If the shark made me feel so terrified, why was the shark making my brother so happy?
Probably because he knew to stay calm and he was like, it's not going to eat us because he was calm. And so he was just down there going with it.
Yeah, he actually popped up and he's like, this is the best day of my life. And then he went right back down. He was so excited. Now, the shark didn't come up and inject fear into me and happiness into my brother. So the one thing that wasn't really the problem was what? The shark.
Yeah.
Now, you guys, your skills are like sharks. Can we all agree in this story there was a shark there? So for me, that's a fact. If you had been there, my brother, my husband, his friend, they would say, yes, there was a shark there. That is a fact. It's not positive. It's not negative. It's not right. It's not wrong. It's a neutral. So another word for circumstances is neutral. So if you circle those circumstances, I like to use the sign, you know, the little math sign of like positive and then a slash and a negative. And I like to put a big circle around that and put a line across it. Like, oh yeah, remind my brain, this isn't good or bad. The shark is a shark. My story, my thoughts, all the underlying parts of that made me feel what, Annalise?
Frantic.
Frantic. Beautiful. Good feeling. Love it. Now, all my brother's thoughts about that shark made him feel what?
Happy.
Happy. Now, we're going to have another coach talk a lot about feelings, but I want you to understand the big thing. Oh, Stacy's our feelings lady. Love it. So I want you to understand this piece, and I'm going to throw a little bit of feelings in here. This helps me a lot. Everybody flip their page over. So you should have had a thought download. We just did one together. You should have circled all the facts, all the sharks in your story, underlined your story about the shark, whatever your skill is. Your skill is the same as a shark. It's not positive, not negative. Okay. And I want you to flip the page over. Stacy doesn't know that I'm doing this, but I'm doing it anyways. Here you go, Stacy. I want you to draw 2 lines on the paper and draw a line up on top. Okay. Thanks for muting them all. Appreciate it, Stacy. This is so nice to have a third party on the call. We need to do this more often. This is the letter C. This is the letter T. This is the letter F. Stacy's going to focus on this. I'm just going to throw it in for a little bit today so you can see what's going on. The main thing we want you to do is realize there's sharks, there's skills, there's people, there's coaches, there's parents, and then there's the middle line. So on the C line, on the C column, the very first thing I want you to write is shark. So you have an example. Everybody got that? C stands for circumstance, just so you know, but it's a long word, so we're not going to take time writing that down. And then we have to learn how to spell, and you don't want me to try to spell it. Okay, everybody wrote shark. Now I want you to write over under the F. The F is feelings. We're going to really focus on feelings, but not tonight. I just want you to have a little idea of this. On the F line, I want you to write terrified, like Annalise said, and then under that, put excited. Now, here's the cool thing. We all like to believe that a Jaeger, a roundup back handspring layout, a series on beam makes us feel terrified. Raise your hand if everybody on this call, if everybody here feels terrified doing a handstand. Anybody feel terrified? Okay, some of us do. Does anybody feel excited doing handstands? A lot of you probably don't feel anything because it's not really exciting or not, right? Okay, now how about a series on beam? Anybody feel excited about series on beam? Anybody love doing series? Oh, come on, that's like my favorite, right? Claudia and I are on the same team.
Kind of.
Kind of, I love it. Okay, does anybody not feel excited about, if I were to say, if I was your coach and I'm like, all right, guys, everybody get up. You have 10 series. I want them stuck. We got 10 minutes. And I want you to go ahead and add a flip lay in there somewhere. I don't care what series you have, just add an extra back handspring somewhere in your series. Everybody feel excited about that? Yeah, some of you. And then some of you might feel a little maybe nervous. But what is the neutral thing? On the left side, your skill is the thing that's neutral. The series, the handstand, your skill, it's not positive or negative. So we see that I had you put a couple of feelings over on the far side. There is a big gap. You guys see the gap between the circumstance and the feeling? What is that gap? It's what we're working on this week. It is your thoughts. Now I like to put synonyms down. Another word for thoughts is power. So if you guys want to write power in that middle area, be awesome. Because we know a shark can't make me feel happy because that shark also somehow made my brother excited, right? There's something in between there. That's your thoughts. So your thoughts are also your power and also your stories about whatever you put over in the C line. Guys, got that? Everybody with me? Anybody confused? Stacy's like, I'm confused. All right. Claudia, let me know if you feel confused at all, and Beth, all you coaches, so I make sure that I'm explaining this for the kids the way you want it. Stacy, if you want to add anything. Now, here's the beautiful thing. The C line, we know cannot, your shark, your skill can't make you happy, can't make you afraid. Gymnastics, coaches, plug your ears. Gymnastics doesn't make you happy. What? But gymnastics also doesn't make you sad or frustrated. What? Did you know your parents? They don't make you mad? What are you talking about? Yeah? Coaches? They don't cause pressure. Pressure's a feeling. Oh, great day. Now what are we going to do? Right? So you guys be thinking about all those feelings. Now, everybody write their skill under the shark line. In that same column, there's a shark and then there's a skill. What is that skill that we wrote on our thought download? Pop over to the right side under the feelings. And when you think of doing this skill, what do you feel? And then I want to have a brave volunteer because now we're going to apply it. This is the fun part. All right, everybody have a feeling over there? Now remember, there's a big gap. It's the thought line, the thoughts in between. Everybody, you underlined all these thoughts. Does anybody notice something, Coach Sarah? Is that Coach Sarah? Okay. Oh, awesome. Stacy, can you, can you unmute yourself, Coach Sarah?
Yep.
When you look at your thought download, your brain dump, remember the rule was when you write that you just can't stop writing for that 30 seconds, yeah?
Yes.
Tell me how many circumstances you circled.
Not very many.
Okay, how many thoughts? If you added up all the lines, how many thoughts did you have?
A lot more thoughts.
Yeah, that should be everybody's paper, just like Coach Sarah, okay? She just got like a perfect 10 in my mind. So you should notice that you only have a couple circumstances, maybe even just one, maybe a few. And every circumstance, we have a lot of thoughts. Listen to this, you guys. Every day, you have about 50 thoughts a day. It's a lot of thoughts. Thoughts are just like these little electrical currents on your brain.
50,000. 50,000.
50,000 thoughts. What did I say?
50.
I thought I said 50,000. Did I say 50?
50,000.
Yeah, 50,000. Thank you, Stacy. 50,000, 40 to 60,000 is kind of what they say. Okay. So thanks, Stacy. That's a big difference. So you guys only wrote a couple of those thoughts down. I want you to, one of those thoughts that you underlined, I want you to pick the thought that makes you feel whatever you put in that F column, in the feeling column. Now I just said, write your skill down under the sharks. And then when you think of that skill, what do you feel? And then I want you to find one of those lines that you underlined in your thought download, just one of the sentences, and put it in that thought column. Everybody got it? Anybody confused? Everybody got it? Okay, so let's just practice this really quick. I'm gonna pick, Stacy, you wanna just pick somebody? Or does anybody wanna raise their hand and volunteer? We're gonna just practice. Oh, Amina, is that your name? Amina wants to go. Beautiful. Okay, we're gonna go ahead with you. Amina, can you tell us what your skill is?
A pike to Kachev on bars.
Pike to Kachev. That sounds like super fun, right?
Yeah.
All right, so pike to Kachev, tell me what your feeling is about that.
Determined.
Determined. Well, that's not one of those skills that makes you feel a little negative, but determined actually isn't always a positive feeling either. Like you're really wanting to get this, yeah?
Yeah.
So what is frustrating about your pike to Kachev?
Well, sometimes I keep getting the same correction like from my coach, but I'm not really sure how to change it. Like I keep trying, but it's frustrating sometimes because I just keep getting the same like correction.
Okay, Amina, listen to what I'm going to tell you. What I want you to write on your column so you can see this. Oh, you can stay unmuted.
Okay.
We're gonna thank you for being so brave. So Amina, on the left side, you guys, everybody listen. This is the same for all of you, and a lot of you probably feel frustrated. We get that emotion a lot in gymnastics. On the left side, Amina, you should have pike to Kachev, just like everybody has a skill. On the far right, we should have, based on what you just told me, what was the emotion that you said?
Determined.
That's what you want. But what do you feel when the coaches give you the same correction over and over and you're not understanding it and you're not getting it? What's that feeling?
Frustrated.
Yeah, put that over there. Okay.
Okay.
She wants to feel determination. Awesome. Yeah, we're gonna totally get there. But let's go with frustration first, because that's what you're actually feeling, because you said you get the same. This is the sentence that you probably want in the middle. And I want to point this out so everybody hears this.
Like getting the same correction in the middle thought. Okay.
Yeah, getting the same correction every single time to you is that's part of the frustration. Now, did you know that pike to Kachev doesn't frustrate you?
Not really.
But we want to believe that the pike to Kachev,
that the coach's correction, getting the same correction again and again and again.
I was going to add that one too.
Isn't frustrating.
Exactly. So I'm going to add that because that's a separate one that we're going to put over there because we're going to add that. Thanks, Stacy. So Amina, listen, the pike to Kachev, it doesn't frustrate you. Got it? It doesn't make you determined. Got it? It doesn't make you feel determined. It doesn't make you happy either. But you want to feel determined, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to pause just like Stacy said, because this is exactly what I want you to see. Coaches, listen to this too. Your frustration isn't even about a coach's correction. So we're going to put the coach's correction. Any words that somebody says to you needs to go under the shark column, because that's not good or bad, right? They're just giving you words.
Under the thought column or the shark or the
shark. What does your coach say? What does your coach say? What's your correction?
Open your hips so that you can like look at the bar when you're coming down so you can catch it.
Perfect. Look at the bar so you can catch it on the way down. Everybody in the shark column, in the circumstance column, please write the words coach's corrections. Those are neutral. They're not positive or negative ever. They're words. If your best friend tells you words, words. If your enemy tells you words, words. They go over there. If they were said, then we can say, yep, those were said, like a quote, right? So Amina, if the thing that bugs you right now is your coach's corrections, know that that's not positive or negative. What do you feel? What are you thinking? What's your story, the middle line, about your coach's corrections? What do you think when somebody comes up and says, Amina, and they say the same thing again? What are you thinking?
I'll try my best to do it, but I guess I don't really know.
I know it's kind of hard with coaches on here. Sometimes we have to kick the coaches off for a few minutes. They don't hear what we say, right? Don't worry. But I want to tell you what I would probably think. Stacy, what would you think if I was your coach and you were struggling on a skill, and instead of, you were feeling frustrated about the skill, but you were also feeling frustrated about the coach, and you were feeling frustrated about yourself. Tell me, let's just take the one piece of the coach's corrections. If I was your coach, tell me what your story might be.
Well, actually, Mina, I think you said it and I loved it. And you said, I'm trying, but I can't seem to make it happen. Like I'm trying to apply the correction, but I can't figure it out. I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to figure it out. Like that's really the thought that then leads to feeling that frustration. Like
exactly.
I'm trying. I don't know.
Yeah, thanks, Stacy. Perfect. So Amina, so when you think this Pike Tkachev, I'm not getting it, I'm not understanding, I can't get it, I'm gonna feel frustrated. We don't. The Pike Tkachev is just a Pike Tkachev. Everybody hear this? Your skill is separated from your story. The story that Amina has, and all of you guys, causes you to be frustrated. When you think a coach says the same thing, the coach says words and your thought is, I wish they'd say something different, then that's what's causing you to be frustrated. I wish I'm trying to do what they're saying. That's what's causing frustration. Now here's a simple goal. We're gonna just go over a couple minutes. Everybody okay with a couple extra minutes? We're gonna work on one piece of this, Amina, okay? If your thought is, I'm trying, I'm not getting it.
Yeah.
And Stacy, can you mute the others? Okay, that's fine. I want you to think about this. Everybody think about this. Whatever your middle line is, whatever that sentence is that you put in the middle, under the thought, I want you to close your eyes for a sec and imagine this. Okay, just for a second. Close your eyes and take a breath. And just relax. And notice when you breathe, your body tends to relax. It just happens. It's just subconsciously. That's kind of how it works. I want you to think about the sentence that you put in the middle of those columns about your skill. And Amina, I'm going to give you a couple things to add to yours and let's see what happens. So Amina's sentence is, I just keep trying and it's not working. I'm going to just kind of throw that out there like that's kind of the idea I heard, okay? Just keep trying and it's not working. And I want you to add this phrase. Everybody add this phrase, and that's okay. Keep your eyes closed and just see how that feels. I'm having this thought, and that's another piece. I'm having this thought that I keep trying and it's not working, and that's okay. Everybody keep their eyes closed for a sec. Amina, do you notice anything different when you think about being okay with that thought?
Yes.
What do you feel?
My feelings definitely change. When it calms me down, like it's relieving almost. Like it just like a weight is almost lifted off your shoulders. It just makes you feel more positive, kind of.
And when you feel more positive on bars, tell me what you do.
I do. Well, it improves based on my attitude and I guess my mental like.
It improves because you feel a little better inside, which means you have a little more energy and desire. Now let's do another one. Close your eyes, you guys. You all have your sentence. I'm going to do a couple more. Ready? So we're going to go to, you know what? I'm having this thought because it's just one of the 50,000. And whatever the thought is, that's okay. And let's just go with this one. I wonder if anybody else ever feels like they're trying and trying and trying. It's just not working. I wonder if anybody else ever has that thought too. And I wonder if they feel frustrated too. And I wonder if they've been doing Pike Tkachevs too. And I wonder if they figure it out eventually. And if they can figure it out, I wonder if I could figure this out. Just keep your eyes closed, keep everything muted, and just kind of notice what happens inside. And I wonder if they can figure it out and I can figure it out. I wonder what I think and I feel like I should do that might be different than what I always do. And I wonder if I believe, just for pretend, just like a fairy tale land, I wonder if I believed that it was possible that I could figure this Pike Tkachev out. I wonder how I'd show up to gym tomorrow if I knew this really isn't that hard for me. My body's strong. I know how to do these kind of things. I'm actually loving the skill. And I know other people who've been frustrated, or at least I believe there's probably other people. And I'm pretty sure that I'm pretty smart too. And I wonder if I believe that I could figure this out, how I would feel. Now, Amina, go ahead and unmute one more time and tell me how you feel. If it's possible that you could figure it out because somebody else might be going through the same thing and have figured it out. What do you think?
It make me feel a little bit better
Mhm.
because it might be helpful to know that someone else is feeling the same thing. So I feel like it would be helpful
Mhm.
to
And maybe if,
talk with the
yeah,
other person about it.
beautiful. Here's what I want you guys to think about. Well, everybody can open your eyes now. I hope you all kind of felt a little shift when I was just giving you some just different storylines, like just giving you new titles to your story, to your thoughts. I want you to consider if you felt a little bit of relief, like Amina said, I love that word. Usually that means that usually you breathe a little bit when you feel relieved. And when you're breathing and you're feeling better, then you're usually getting more energy. And when you feel more energy, you're usually more willing to go do something. When you feel like you are doing more things, the more you do, the better results you get. Yeah? Does everybody kind of agree with that? The last thing I want you to see is I did tiny, tiny little thought differences. I didn't go from, Amina, you could totally do this. All you need to do is this and this and this. And you should just believe in yourself and you can do it, because that's what we tell ourselves. Because I'm sure you know you can do it and your coaches know exactly what to tell you. But sometimes we go with this little story that isn't helpful. Instead of jumping from, I don't know, and I hear what the coaches are saying to, okay, right, I totally got it. That's a big leap. So we do little thoughts in that thought download and in that middle line to just shift a little bit where we feel a little better, and then we feel a little better, then we feel a little better. And the more we feel open and feel a little better, the more willing we are to do things. Everybody understand that? And the more we're willing to do things, the more likely we're going to get that Pike Tkachev and whatever skill is written under those sharks. Okay. That's our time. Claudia, does anybody have any questions? Stacy, do you want to add anything?
No, that was awesome. What I do want to add is if anybody's having tech problems getting on the website, problems getting on the app, I will stay on now and help you. So
thanks, Stacy.
I'll let Amy finish and let everybody else go. If you're on the website, you're on the app, you go ahead and go. Or if you've already talked to me, like Mina, Rockstar, you can go ahead and go. But anybody else where you're like, I'm struggling, please stay on and I am here to help you.
You guys, I'm going to add one more thing like Stacy said, in case it has something I do. With your thought download homework, just keep doing those. Circle the circumstances, underline the thoughts, and remember the circumstances don't have to change. But if you change your thoughts, you're going to feel something different. So all the underlying parts are in your control. Okay?
We're supposed to do that this whole week, and then
so you guys,
when do we start the next lesson? On Monday?
So since we didn't get a full week on this last one, that's okay. Tomorrow morning, everybody start week 2. So and we're gonna build on it. You're gonna do this the whole time. So, and this is the easiest one. So you guys will start watching video 2 tomorrow or whenever in your practice with your coach that you're going to watch it over this next week. You're going to start now on the next on lesson 2. I'll put that in the app. I'll put lesson 2 in the app, and then you've got it in your workbook.
Do you have to use the app, or can you do it from the
You can also do it from the website. I just know that people are struggling with the website, and so the app can be easier because you can just go straight to the video.
Okay, I struggled with getting the app, but
Izzy
will help me, right,
Izzy? On the website.
Yeah, I've got 3 people who cannot get in the app for some reason. I don't know why. I'm actually working with the app developers, and they don't know why. So we are trying to figure out why. Some of you are struggling to get in the app. Everyone else is already in the app. So if you're in the app, you can just go to the video there, or you can go on the website.
Yeah, I haven't gone on the app yet.
Izzy, unmute. Can you?
Hi.
Hi. Did you get on the app?
Yeah, I got on the app and the website.
Okay. All right. So as long as I have one of my teenagers that can get on it, then they can help the rest of us.
I think we've got like 20 people in the app right now.
Okay.
So Izzy, will you help me too?
Yeah, absolutely.
Stacey, we can get off. We'll let Izzy take over.
Yeah, Izzy will just help us.
I'm gonna head out.
All right, you
She's
guys,
my
good job.
techie.
But, the website is not a circumstance. It is, it is a fact that the website and the app are being a problem, and I'm frustrated because of it.
No,
Yeah.
the website is a
Great
circumstance.
exercise in managing my own brain. This
Put it under the shark line, Stacey.
Yeah, it's just a chart.
Yeah.
All right, coaches,
don't-
how about you guys? How are you with getting on everything?
Me?
Yeah, I think all the coaches were struggling.
I'm going to stay on so she can help me get on the app.
Okay.
Yeah. So the biggest thing that so going back to lesson, moving forward, now you guys are moving, I'm so sorry about the dog. You guys are moving into week 2. So you're going to want to start on week 2 from here on out. But sorry, let me close my bedroom door so that
You guys, you have a pretty incredible, like your coaching staff, your owner. I just want to tell you, I'm so proud of you guys. This is, to me, the most, it's going to make life so much more fun for all you coaches and you athletes. When you're just consistent with your emotions in mind, then all of a sudden everything gets a little more fun.
Yeah.
So
Awesome.
I'm proud of you guys.
I know we've had a rough start, but I'm really proud of the girls for coming on and
Look at this.
and committing to it, because that's what we're trying to do.
You guys are all rock stars.
here tonight. That's amazing.
Mhm.
That's amazing. Okay, so the biggest thing with the app is that you want to make sure that you follow the link that was in that document from your phone. So if you try to just go download the app, basically the app is like, imagine like Facebook. It's a place where anyone who wants to can build a group. So if you just went and downloaded Facebook, you wouldn't find our group. What you have to do is follow that specific link. It will take you to the app called Spaces, and then it will take you to our space on the Spaces app.
Okay, Stacey, I don't mean to be a pain, but I don't know if you